Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of The Talk with Vanessa in partnership with Bella Ninja. And I'm excited to have you be a part of today's episode. Now, let me just say this. Today's episode of The Talk is not suitable for individuals that are susceptible to a heart attack. Yes, so that you're not taking a bath, because today I'm going to be going deep into some stuff. I'm going to be practical. I'm going to be, what's the word now? Organic about what I'm going to be talking about today. And what is that thing? Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about sex, baby. Yes, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Sex. And that is one word that every time you hear it, people are like, oh, okay, where's she going to? What does she want to do? Well, I need to talk about sex because it happens to be one of the major reasons or issues that people are having in their marriages that cause them to go for divorce. On the top three are sex, finance, and religion. I personally add communication to that list because I've also discovered that communication is also a reason why a lot of people don't tend to understand their partners, and then they say, I'm done. I can't have this anymore. So, today, let me start with the first things first. I can talk about sex without getting the elephant in the room out. Some of the myths that surround sex and what sex isn't. One, sex is not a devil's idea. It wasn't the devil that made sex, so there's no need for you to have sex with your partner and then kneel down and be asking God for forgiveness. I mean, please. And trust me, I've met people like that. In fact, I've handled an issue like that where they, before they have sex, they will kneel down and pray. And then after they have sex, the woman will say, let us kneel down and pray. And the guy is like, I don't know how long I'm going to have to deal with all of this. The second myth I want to talk about is the length or the duration of a normal sex. It's actually 5 to 10 minutes and not 30 minutes to 1 hour. Medically proven. And that's why you see a lot of people, do drugs, they try to enhance themselves because they're trying to meet up to a standard that has been a narrative that the media and pornography have been selling for God knows how long, and making these things unrealistic and making it difficult for people to be able to actually bond in the place of sex. The normal human being, the normal man, the average man that is not on steroids is supposed to have sex for 5-10 minutes at the maximum. So, what now happens to a woman who likes sex, so who can go for hours and all of that? I said, remember, normal sex. Now, a woman, it will be difficult for you to be able to satisfy a woman or bring a woman to orgasm in 5 to 10 minutes. The reason is because a woman is like an engine. You need to prime it. You need to warm the engine before you can get the result or get the engine to accelerate or give you the service that you require. I'm going to be going into all of that in a few minutes. The next thing I want to talk about is the size of the penis. The truth is that not every woman has the capacity to handle this size of a penis. And that's the truth. And this preference of the penis size is as a result, again, of stories, media, the way this thing is being painted, pornography that makes you feel that if it's not this big, then you cannot get pleasure. Well, newsflash, not every man has this size of a penis. And what you need as a woman to have an orgasm is not very far from the exterior of your vagina. I'm going to be talking about that also in a bit. And then lastly, the myth I want to talk about is that people who feel like when you cut off a woman's clitoris, you'll be able to tame her or cut down her sexual appetite. A woman can also enjoy sex without having a clitoris. So it's a waste of time putting your girl child through that process or through that unnecessary pain of gender mutilation. Now, with that being said, let's now talk about what sex should be. Sex is designed for pleasure. Is a stress reliever. It makes you feel naked and not ashamed. Two shall become one flesh, not one spirit. You are able to feel there's an exchange that goes on in the place of that is that is part of intimacy. Into me see. Yeah. That's like the apex of intimacy, and you should not in any way play with that aspect of your marriage. It is something that makes it difficult for you to be able to stay angry with your partner for too long or be mad with your partner for too long. Okay? Now, so how do I satisfy my partner? Well, I'm going to try to do the much I can with the length of time that I have, but you're free to also reach out to me on social media or via the numbers that you would see on the screen, and book a session for you to be taught how to have sex, because sex is actually an art that you need. There's a science to it, and I'm willing to teach you that, just for a little token. But just for general knowledge, I'm going to be talking about the areas or the key points where you should concentrate on when you're talking about giving sexual satisfaction to both a woman and a man. So I'm going to be doing some illustrations. Now, let's assume this is the vagina, okay? And at the top of this place is where you have the clitoris, and just a little beneath that is where you have, where the woman urinates from. So at the top of this place, for some women, is protruding. You can literally feel it like a knob, more like a knob. You can touch it, you can feel it. For some women who have or gone through gender mutilation, you just find out that that area begins to swell up when she's excited. It's almost as if it's inflamed. It's not painful. It's actually the pleasure that is causing it to swell up. And right after that, another area, there are nerves around there that makes it easy for her to feel that pleasure. Also, you want to, concentrate on her neck, on her ears. For some people, their nipples, they are sensitive areas. And then this is inside of the vagina. Okay, I'm going to try not to use a lot of medical terminologies just so that you're able to catch it quickly. At the top here, just inside the vagina, there's a flesh that feels rough, just somewhere here. If you touch it, that is the G spot. Mm-hmm. If you can keep constant friction here with the cap of your penis, just here, you're going to bring that woman to orgasm in no time. That is the G spot. The G spot is not inside. I've heard people touch something that feels like a knob inside of the vagina. That is not the G spot. And if you hit that too hard, you can actually injure the woman. The G spot is not very far from the exterior of the vagina. So I've talked about the clitoris, I've talked about the G spot. If you're able to do all of that, you're going to be able to bring that woman to orgasm, irrespective of the size of your penis. The size of your penis is not what determines whether the woman will enjoy sex or not. The next one I want to talk about is for the male, the cap of a man. The cap is where the man is being circumcised. You have this thick flesh, or that looks like an umbrella, like the covering of an umbrella. That's the man's cap, and all the pleasure that he feels, that place is super sensitive. Like, if you can keep friction there, if you're able to know how to massage it, if you're someone who goes down, like give blowjob, you want to really concentrate here. Everything that happens down here when you go up, when you have that going up and coming down, is just to be able to bring all the excitement to the cap. This is where everything happens. Now, you don't need enhancers to be able to actually enjoy sex. The truth is that when you introduce enhancers to your intimacy with your partner, you make it even more difficult for you to be satisfied. You make yourself insatiable, because who can compete with a machine, assuming you were using a dildo? Because The dildo only gets tired when the battery runs down. So that will be difficult for you to actually experience intimacy in the place of sexual intercourse with your partner. I can't even begin to tell you the benefits of good sex. You may not always have great sex as a married couple, but you can at least have good sex. Great sex happens every now and then, but good sex you can maintain. And sometimes, it's you giving your partner. It's not all the time that both of you are going to be in the mood. That's another thing, that another myth that a lot of people have, that I can't have sex with her because she's not in the mood or she's not feeling it and all of that. The truth is that you may start, and midway she will pick up. Like I said, women are like engines that needs to be warmed up. You don't just start your car and you drive it. Women are not like that. A woman needs priming. A lot of foreplay would, save you all the humping and where sex now feels like a chore. Like when you're done, you pass out like completely. All those telemundo gimmicks and all of that. Sex is not really always like that. You can actually have fulfilling sex. Yes, virtue will leave you, certainly, but not like it was a labor. It's not a labor of love. It's supposed to be pleasurable. So you can start sex in the morning, text messaging, talking, and stuff, and getting warmed up. And then when you eventually meet each other, personal hygiene is very critical to how sex goes down. Please do take a bath. It's really, really can be off-putting for a lot of people. A lot of foreplay for a woman. If you have foreplay with a woman for like 15 to 20 minutes, you will actually both be able to orgasm or reach fulfillment in 5-10 minutes, because once a man penetrates, things begin to happen and you trust and trust and trust, and before you know it, you're there, and you can actually bring her there in that few minutes if you know how to use your fingers, if you know how to use your tongue, if you know how to cuddle, if you know how to talk. Women are given to plenty talk. So now I'm shy. There's so much I want to say, but I feel like this is something that we should be talking about privately. So if you want to be a part of my classes, then you can sign up. Send me an email, thetalkwithvanessa@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow me on social media at The Talk with Vanessa, and send me messages. Don't forget, my email is thetalkwithvanessa@gmail.com. You can also call me with the numbers that are on or displaying on the screen. And I look forward to getting feedbacks. I hope this video was helpful to you. Try to put into practice some of the things that you've learned. I'll be looking forward to getting your feedbacks. To make me feel like I really did do something. Until I come your way next week, many thanks to Bella Ninja. Keep loving, keep living, keep enjoying. Hasta la vista.